Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We're almost finished here. It's got the last few minutes. Going to button this thing up. I just want to know who benefits. Honestly, these climate science. Who's paying these guys to lie about the climate being a disaster? Whose interest is served? That's in any way not equivalent or more evil than the interests of the folks that want to keep the status quo. You think about the oil companies that are getting billions and billions of dollars in subsidies from the United States and from different countries around the world to go into drill in oceans, pollute areas there. There's a huge dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico where not even plants can grow. You have these coal factories that belch carbon. They're shutting down the coal industry in Great Britain after generations of people have died from coal asphyxiation and things like that. Why is it goonery to support an industry, solar panel industry, or wind farms up in northern Iowa that produce energy that is at least not killing people? That's what I want to know. Why is it so bad? What's the conspiracy behind the climate change action folks that has got you so worked up? I don't get it.
All right. Now, I do have a conspiracy theory about this. Right?
I don't get it.
All right. Now, first of all, I'm all for green energy. I
know you are.
I mean, I remember on the campaign trail, I took so much heat from the right. I'm like, well, hold on.
And you've also said climate change is happening, so I don't understand where this is coming from today.
Well, because climate is always changing. It doesn't matter. I mean, climate will always change. There will always be something happening. Keep in mind, we didn't even know about El Nino till this century. We didn't even know about La Nina. I think it was the early mid-90s. And those have tremendous impacts on our weather systems because it is a climate change. I'm sucking in a lot of foam off this. Mac needs to get a new one of these.
Yeah.
Maddie, put that on the list. Excuse me. So I'm a big fan of this. I think it ought to be either you take away the subsidies from the oil companies, which I'm all for and would prefer, or you give it to you in a blanket, to the energy sector as a whole. The problem is you come across things like Solyndra, which is real black eye to the president and to the climate change goons. And there's a difference between a climate scientist and a climate change goon. A climate change goon is somebody where you're talking to them about, well, hold on, there's many other factors besides man, and they scream at you and call you names and throw you under the bus and say you're an idiot. And you're like, well, hold on, that doesn't even make sense. This is not entirely driven by humans. People debate how much it's driven by humans. That's what the debate is.
There are people that don't accept it, and there are people that do real work. That's what the debate is. There are people. The debate about whether or not climate change is caused by human beings is over, except for folks that refuse to accept it. Basically, you've got folks in the South wishing they were pre-bellum. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, see, now
people that deny climate change are kind of like the Japanese guys on the islands that don't know the war's over.
Well, and that's but that's not true, because if nobody on the right,
it doesn't even
that denies.
And why is it a political issue? Sorry, finish your point. With that, we should talk about that too. Why is this a political issue? Seriously.
Well, it's the same reason it's a political issue that pollution was a political issue. People already started doing things, and then the government said, well, hold on, we need to be able to come in here, control it, and tax it, and be better. And then the government gets credit. Well, the problem with this is it's politics because it involves oil. This is my conspiracy theory.
Oh, yes.
All right. It involves oil. The less we're dependent on oil, right, the less money the government actually brings in. How are you going to tax a solar kilowatt hour? That's a tough thing to tax, But when you're taxing oil, you get to tax it when it's in the ground. You get to tax the license, which is essentially a tax to bring it out. You got to tax it putting it on the ship. You tax it bringing it across. You're taxing it to bring it into port. You're taxing it to offload it, to process it, to ship it off to wherever they go. You pay a tax to have it trucked somewhere. And then at the final stage, the state gets to put a tax on it. It's a giant tax. And if you have solar, and you don't even need the grid, or you're running your ultimately have a solar panel that charges your Prius, or is a Prius,
yeah.
whatever it is, and now you can drive your car for free. How are you going to tax that? That's the problem. So there's two theories out here. The one I subscribe to is the government is not about ready to let go of any tax money. You could agree with that.
I think that we should have more tax money.
All right, but you do agree that the government is not going to let go of tax money.
No, never.
And because of that, they're going to go out there and go, hold on, we have to set up a bad guy, right? We have to go out there and set up big oil as a bad guy. And we're offering a solution, and that's why their government's funding all this, because the amount they're actually funding the climate change goons and alternative energy is such a drop in the bucket compared to, one, the taxation that they get, and two, the favors that keep coming in from big oil. That's a theory I subscribe to, and a lot of people do that. The other theory is...
Yeah, I didn't follow you down that rabbit hole, but maybe we can talk about that after the show.
All right. So the other theory is, at this point, is there is a small but very strong cadre of people that make millions and billions off of anti-government, or, trying to get the government to go into anti-social things that will harm the economy and therefore bring down America, right? Or the powers that be, or, the imperial powers, however you want to look at it. And part of this cadre is Al Gore, and there's George Soros, and those are the people I mentioned. That's the other way that, this could be, that this is goes back to a big oil conspiracy, because you have to be able to destabilize a country in order to be able to create change. That's the idea. So those are the two conspiracy theories out there. Now, I have successfully kept Lefty fairly quiet for the last 20 minutes, and that says a lot.
I get lulled. I get lulled to sleep like a baby in a papoose when you start talking about conspiracy theories, man.
Oh yeah,
because
my voice.
No, it's so comforting.
Yes, because my voice is so soothing.
Yeah.
It's my radio voice.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. What
Absolutely.
you got coming up?
Oh, hey, actually, I can't believe I didn't say this at the top of the show. Okay, folks. The Big Wheel Rally for cancer research is this Saturday. This is if you've been around the Ingersoll area when this is going on. It's a bunch of people riding their big wheels, raising money for children's cancer research up and down Ingersoll, going to different establishments. I will be performing the 4 to 6 slot at the Yacht Club on Ingersoll this Saturday, like I said, from 4 to 6, in support of the Big Wheel Rally for cancer research for the Children's Hospital here in Des Moines. So please come out to that. Spend some money at a bar or a restaurant or whatever. Spend some money in Ingersoll this Saturday, because most of that money is going for a great cause, and you should come and see me play from 4 to 6.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. I was meant to mention it too. So
right?
Great. I got a big boy's big wheel, and I'm going to be taking it down there. So thanks everybody for tuning in. See you next week.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Shaw, and I love these guys. Both of them.
Love these guys. Get over here. Love both of them.